Hi. So it's been a little bit. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. If you've been here before, go you. It's been a while. I took a break from filming. Just mental health break. A lot of stuff going on. But hopefully I'm back at it. At least one video. We'll see where I go from here. But yeah, I figured I'd jump on here and show off some crafts that I've been doing. Maybe inspire somebody. That'd be fun. And I'll probably just, I've got some other things that I like showing off my little things that I'm excited about. So yeah, this isn't going to be a fancy edited video because I don't have time for that. Yeah. I tried finding my mic. It is gone. My kids liked playing with it. My hair's up on the side because I was going to use my headphones, but I couldn't figure out how to get the audio from my headphones. So this is what you got today. So anyways, let's get right into it. Gonna get that out of the way. So first projects, I think we'll kind of work our way forward a little bit here. So this is the one that I'm probably most excited about. I made this. Now let me get my picture out of the way for now. I made this at the beginning of the year. This is the Pebble Beach shawl, I think. I can't quite remember who the pattern is by. It's very pretty. My aunt gave me this yarn for Christmas. I got the pattern on Ravelry, I know that. My aunt gave me this yarn for Christmas. It is, I believe, merino wool and silk, so it's super soft. I love this. This is currently my go-to shawl. I'm trying to make some more. I made this one just recently. I need to block it still, but it's the same pattern, but this one is in the large size. I think the other one was medium. I don't think I'm going to keep this one because this yarn, it's got some alpaca, which I just find quite scratchy. But it's a very cool size. It's a very fun pattern. I made this dino scarf. Again, this pattern was also on Ravelry. I can't remember who it's by because I don't have it printed out, and I can't look on my phone right now because I'm filming. But if you just search dinosaur scarf on Ravelry, you'll find it. I'm going to give it to my friend for Christmas this upcoming Saturday. Probably the day I'm posting this. I don't know yet. I might get a little excited and post this tonight when I'm filming. I've got count them, two Musselburgh hats. So these are the ones where you make the big long tube. It's stockinette forever. Shove it inside itself, and it's a hat, and I'm not going to put it on right now because my hair is cooperating a little bit and I don't want to mess that up. But this one I think I'm going to give to my sister's boyfriend because he likes purple and he seems like a beanie guy. And then this one I'm going to give to my aunt. I'm hoping it'll be, it's the biggest size, I think, and I'm hoping it'll be quite loose because she's got curly hair and I don't want to mess it up, but I want it to be something she can just throw on when she takes the dog for a walk. This is Amethyst. I work very hard on her every day. You want to say hi? Okay. She's my cat by marriage. And then, so here's one ranunculus sweater. This one I made for my daughter. I was originally making it for me, but as you can see, it's a little bit small. I was anticipating it turning out, I'm sorry, I'm having to bend down. I don't feel like adjusting the camera right now, but I want to show stuff off. It was supposed to be like a lacy sort of top, and then my stitches, I think the yarn, it's got a bit more elasticity to it than I expected. So it all stayed quite snug. But it fits my daughter perfectly, so she's got a ranunculus. And because I was jealous, I made myself a ranunculus. So I love this. This one, I cannot remember the kind of yarn that I used for either of these. But this one is so soft. I used some old yarn that I had, and then because I'm trying to stash bust, and then I ran out. So I had to buy more yarn anyways. Which is why you shouldn't try to stash bust. You should just buy more yarn. This is another Christmas present for one of my friends. This is a shawl that I'm hoping she'll wear while she's like reading and stuff. This was miserable for me, personally. Just the way that the pattern was written. I think it would have been easier if I had been able to print out the pattern, but I was all out of black ink at the time. Because then I would have been able to follow the chart, but I can't do the charts on my phone. But no, I think I picked a bit too small of a needle, so it was just real squeaky with the acrylic yarn. I've been using more wool lately, so the acrylic also just felt kind of weird. And then the pattern, I don't know if you can see, but it's got that middle section. This is what is this? I think it's like the falling leaves shawl. I got it on Etsy. I got the pattern on Etsy. It is very pretty if you're willing to pay attention. But I didn't want to pay attention is where my problem was. But it's got the center section and then it's got the outer section, which when you get to a certain point, they repeat. But there's a different amount of rows for the outer section than the inner section. And it was not hitting right for me. So that was a labor of love, let me tell you. What else have I been working on? I finished this blanket that's covering up my kitchen. I threw it over the coat rack. I did not, in fact, take any of the coats off the coat rack. And unfortunately, it's not big enough to be my whole back. So, but that's pretty cool. I was gonna give this to my mom for Christmas. My shirt cover's falling. I was gonna give it to my mom and dad for Christmas, because I've been working on this blanket for literally years. I started it when I was pregnant with my son, who is now 3.5. So I've been working on it forever, and 2 nights ago, I just was like, you know what, I'm all done with it. It's good enough. And I wove the ends in, which, by the way, were 96 ends. 96. I dropped some. 96 ends. I would still do that 3 times before I do that falling leaves shawl again, personally. At least, again, with that yarn, with it on my phone. Not fun. For me. But yeah, I like how it turned out. This is like OG weighted blanket, you guys. Like, it goes, it's big. This is OG weighted blanket material. Like, nothing's cozier than having a nice crochet a denser stitch. Not the really airy ones, but like a nice dense stitch. And it's just a wavy pattern. Those are the main ones that I've finished. A lot of those were done more over the summer to fall, except that one, that first shawl I did around the beginning of the year. But yeah, and then some things I'm excited about. Let's talk about some things I'm excited about. Sorry, I have a hard time maintaining eye contact. Unless it's with my own reflection, apparently, which has me looking off to the side. So I made a little guy, because I didn't have googly eyes. Here's an artistic rendition. I don't know if you can see it. I made a little guy. So I'm trying to look him in the eyes and tell him all about my special interest right now, but he's not really catching my attention, gotta be honest. I just had a nice little date with my husband. And by date, I mean we ran errands, but it was together, so it's a date. And I did get some Jones Soda. The flavors I got tasted gross. So, but I did get pineapple as well. They haven't had pineapple that looked good the past few weeks, so I'm really excited about that. I've never been a pineapple person until like this past year or so. It's a little weird, but I've been loving pineapple. I got some almond flavored pizzelle cookies. I think that's how you say it, pizzelle. They're thin and crispy, and I love them. We stopped at Barnes & Noble. I picked up a book for me, but like everybody in this house is going to read it. My husband wants to read it, and then I'm going to read it to my kids. And I think it'll be good for kind of schoolwork stuff because we homeschool. But the first Chronicles of Narnia book, The Magician's Nephew. I'm trying to do a bit more reading. It's difficult for me because I'm allergic to dust mites. And so library books don't work. And it's very stressful investing in a book that I might not like. But I can't get stuff from the library because otherwise, like within 5 minutes, I'm just bleh. And it's very attractive. And then when we were walking past, because we looked forever in like the young adult section and we could not find it. It was in the kids section. And we went over to the kids section. I find it silly. I feel like they should have had some nice versions of this over in the adult section too, because it is a classic. Because they had like Sherlock Holmes both in the adults and kids section. So I don't know. But since we were in the kids section, I looked over and I found Junie B. Jones, which these were some of my favorite books growing up. So I picked up the first one for my daughter. So we're gonna practice sitting down and reading together because that's something I need to practice. And if we can get through our books, maybe we can stop back at Barnes & Noble next weekend. What else am I excited about? You know what? Here's what we're gonna do first. What else am I excited about? I got yarn. I had a birthday recently. I do that every year. At least once a year, but usually just the one time. That's another thing. I've had 2 birthdays since the last time I filmed, so I'm elderly. I found a white hair recently. That was traumatizing. But I'm fine now, mostly. I'm just so ready to embrace being Mrs. Claus someday. So, like, if I'm gonna go white, I just want to get it over with, please, already. But anyways, I had a birthday, and my grandma gave me a bit of money, and I told her I bought yarn, and she goes, I kind of figured you would, and I'm like, Grandma, you know me so good. So I say I've been waiting a couple weeks to open this because I wanted to do it on camera because I thought that'd be kind of fun. I was gonna do it last weekend, and then we got sick. So, Amy's just watching. Wouldn't it be funny if I cut through my yarn? I'd cry. This one, I'm gonna go through some of the patterns that I'm looking forward to next. But this one, I have a specific pattern in mind. I picked it out because I want another shawl. I was hoping to get it yellow, but the local yarn store that's closest to us is still a little bit of ways away, and they didn't have anything. And the next closest option would have been like an hour and a half, which is pretty far to drive for an I don't know. So I just ordered on, I ordered off of Wool & Company. That's what it is. So I got this red yarn. It looks a lot brighter on camera than it does in person. It's not quite so bright. This is Cascade Yarn Heritage Silk. It's 85% superwash merino wool and 15% silk. Now, I've never gotten this yarn before, so this was a bit of a risk for me. I think it was about $20 a skein, give or take. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's like as soft as the other silk I have, the one that's woolen silk. But it's nice. I'm looking forward to seeing how it feels after it's knitted and blocked. But I figured this would be a nice fall and winter, at least like around Christmas time one. I've got a couple crafty things to do before Christmas, but for the most part, I think I'm just giving people cookies. Cause I'm tired of stressing around Christmas. Making gifts, and then I've got a big enough family that buying gifts for everybody is not the most feasible thing. So I am going to make some cookie dough, put it in the freezer, and then I'm spending the rest of my Christmas season knitting up a shawl. So, what shawl am I knitting up, you may be asking? That is a good question. You get a golden star. I have these patterns printed out. I'm only going to be showing, I'm going to be blocking some of it, obviously, but I'm only going to be showing the first page. So, onwards to what have I got lined up crafty-wise. So with that red yarn, I'm going to be making, it's the Flagstaff shawl by Dee O'Keefe. She's got wonderful patterns. I've done 2 of them. I got them on Ravelry. So this is the 3rd one that I'll be doing. I made one for my aunt and one for my mom. Those were an absolute joy to knit. I don't know if I would do those same ones again. I can't remember which ones they were exactly off the top of my head. I don't know if I would do them again just because they're so interesting and unique that I worry that like by doing it again it'd just get like boring and stale. It wouldn't feel special. But this one, let me see, I'm going to cover a bit of the stuff. But this is the Flagstaff shawl. And again, that's by Dee O'Keefe over on Ravelry. I'm very excited. Please excuse my ums. It's totally unconscious. I'm very excited to work on that. But I do have some things to work on before that. One thing, I'm hoping to make this for a friend, I think. But I'm torn. Because I have a bunch of that green yarn left over. And I think that I could do it if that green acrylic yarn. I think I could do it if I size up my needles enough that it's not squeaking. But if it's squeaking, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But I got the Basket Weaver shawl pattern from Stephen West, also on Ravelry. It's beautiful. It's got so much detail and texture, but it's also dense. Like I really like, I love doing lacy shawls, but especially if it's acrylic, I'd like it to be dense. And then also just like as far as a practical shawl, you know, sitting at the computer working, a denser weave would probably, or a denser stitch would probably be better. And then something else that I've got going is here in a couple weeks, my Bible study group, we are going to an old folks home, and we're going to be playing some games. And I was like, hey, I could make some bookmarks and maybe some ornaments for prizes, because old people love stuff like that. Like legitimately, I'm not even like teasing. And I love stuff like that too. It's the white hair. That's what it is. But no, for a lot of elderly people, at least here's my thinking behind it. It's very nostalgic because when it comes to the crocheted or knit things, a lot of them either used to make things like that or they knew somebody who did. So it's kind of special. So one thing I'm planning to do is I'm going to be making some snowflakes, and I'm going to starch those so that they're nice and flat, and make those into ornaments. I couldn't find any printable patterns, so I don't have any specific ones, but if you just look up snowflakes, like crochet snowflakes on Ravelry, they're all there. And then I got some bookmarks. So let me see. This one I think was a free one. Yeah, this was a free one off of Ravelry. It's the Trellis Lace Bookmark by Library Lee. Don't know how well you can see that, but that's a pretty little knit one. I'm hoping I can do some of those, but it depends on my patience level with that at the time, because the knit ones take me a bit longer. Crochet ones, I can make those like that. And then one of the other ones I got, so that one was free. This one was, I think this was like $5 on Etsy. It's the Nancy Bookmark Pattern by Corinne Crockett, Cherrybrook Lane Creative. So let me see if I can, I'm going to fold it a little bit. I don't want to, but I don't want to be giving stuff away. But isn't that so pretty? So the crochet ones, I knit pretty fast, but I crochet faster, I think. I could do a few of those in a day, easy. And then the last thing I'm going to make, these are going to be bookmarks. I think this was a free pattern, but I'm going to be covering it because I'm not certain. This is a tatted pattern, so it's just for a cross. I tried to not show it too long because the numbers are on there, but that is a tatted cross by Elizabeth C. Zippe. I don't have any finished right now. I literally have, what, I have 4 that are almost done. I need more shuttles. But, so it's so pretty. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And those have been sitting there forever, so I'm like, hey, I could use them for that. But yeah, so those are the crafty plans I've got in place. I also have been doing a little bit of painting. Me and my husband, we like to build and paint like Warhammer 40K and Battletech minis. Well, you don't build a Battletech minis, but I like painting them. And then I got a little watercolor kit yesterday just as a palette cleanser, I guess, when I'm crafting. I'm not good at it, but that's kind of the fun, and that's kind of part of the practice, is being not good at it. And then another thing that I was pretty excited about, this was like a month ago now, maybe 2 months. It's been just a little bit. But I painted a lunchbox for my dad. I don't have, like I said, I'm not editing this video. I'm just gonna be putting it up. So if you want to see pictures of that, go see his YouTube. He's got pictures there. I can't remember his YouTube channel exactly right now, but I believe it's, you should be able to find it if you search N8VOX. He does ham radio stuff. That's November 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun to paint. It says ham sandwich, and it's got a little antenna. Then I put his call sign on the bottom. And I find it fun because it's so that he can, have sandwiches when he goes out and does his Parks on the Air and stuff. But I find it really funny because he doesn't like ham at all. Ham radio, yes, but like pork. So I find it funny. How much is that? Meow me in the window. But yeah, I'm not on any other social media platforms right now, so I mean, I think I still have my account on Twitter, so you can follow me, but I'm not going to do anything with that. I still got my Ko-fi. You can find that on my page, on my YouTube, if you go to the About Me section, I think. I'm not going to be pushing that too hard since I can't consistently post right now. The reason that I'm posting and filming right now is the kids are shaking down the in-laws at Build-A-Bear. So they had fun though. But yeah. I think that might be just about it. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, 25 minutes and 4 seconds. I can't even stand myself that long. Good on you. Subscribe if you want to be alerted when I do actually film again. Yeah. I'm Bethany. You have a blessed day. And remember that Jesus loves you. Bye.